intentional signwriter is to extend. Now, as one of my friends likes to say, I've got a whole stable full of hobby horses, but this is one that I'm prepared to ride as much as I get an opportunity to, because I think that this is a key issue for us as Christians. You know, when Jesus saved us, He called us to go into all the world. He didn't call us to stay in the safety of a church building and church programs and expect people to come to us. You know, when Jesus said to leave the 99 and go to the one, we must be pretty bad farmers, because most Christians that I know are far busier inside a church program and building than we are in reaching a hurting world. I would love just once for someone to say of me like they did of Jesus, "You got some pretty shady characters for friends." You know, He was a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But if I'm to try and number who I actually hang out with regularly, who struggles or who's far away from the church, I've got virtually no one that I can point out. You know, we're called to get out. We're called to go. And the further away from the church and kind of safe society they are, the better in Jesus' mind. We've got to go to those on the margins. And to evacuate the Christian bubble is incredibly hard to do, especially if you're paid to hang around a church. If we want to reach people outside the church, then we've got to get outside the church. We need to spend time outside of the church building. And remember, church isn't a place you go to. Church is a group of people who are sent by God into the world to help heal those who are hurting. Are we truly being the church? Now, perhaps you've thought, but I do get outside the church building. I've got 5 friends that I know I can pray for and I can regularly spend time with. And that's fantastic. But that's just the start. Can I let you in on a secret? You know, if you want to fulfill the Great Commission, friendship evangelism by itself won't cut it. And here's why. Take a look at the people you're good friends with. Have you noticed that they're a lot like you? Maybe they're in a similar situation in life. Maybe they've got similar amount of money, similar political preferences. They often have the same coloured skin. Now here's the issue, is that if we want to be able to reach all people, then how's that going to happen if we're only hanging out with people who are just like us? You see, the church population is quite skewed. It doesn't really represent the average population and the diversity in our culture. So if we're only going to people who are like us, who are typically a bit older, richer, more well-to-do, whiter, if we're only doing that, then who's going to reach out to the immigrants? Who's going to reach out to the blue-collar battler? Who's going to reach out to people who have got different sexual preferences? We need to go to all these people, especially to those on the margins. To the lame, to the lost, to the least, the little, the oppressed. We're called to go to these people. So in this section, what I'm really saying to you is that we need to extend ourselves. We need to get beyond our everyday networks and find ways to connect with people who are different to us. Maybe it's by serving the poor. Maybe it's by being involved in a group that goes to different communities. So whatever it is, extend yourself to reach those on the margins.